Welcome back. And in this video I want to show you something that you will do every time you perform a penetration test. I want to show you how to manually search for vulnerabilities. And this is something that you will do a lot. You will use this more than any other tool that we covered. So what manual vulnerability analysis is us simply Googling the vulnerabilities. For example, suppose we are attacking a target, and right here I just performed the version scan for the Metasploitable. Imagine Metasploitable is our target, and we just performed this version scan. We got these different ports open and different versions. How do we know if they are vulnerable without using any tool? Well, what we can do is we can copy the name of the version that is running on an open port, then go to Google and just paste that name and add exploit. And here it is. We're already getting some response back. Python exploit for this version, which is the exact version that our Metasploitable has. vsftpd, the exact version that we have. Backdoor command execution. And what you would do is you would just go to these links and try to find the exploit for it. Down here we already see that an exploit already exists. For which platform it is. We can see right here the source code if we want to. And here it is. The exploit is coded in Python in this case. And this is how you would do most of your vulnerability analysis. We also get the module options, and what these module options are is something that we will cover in the exploitation section. This is how we can exploit the target using tools. We're going to cover that shortly. For now on, this is the way that you can find out how to exploit the target. You just go through a bunch of links and see whether someone already came up with the exploit for that specific version. In this case, for the vsftpd 2.3.4 version. And you would do this for any version that you discover. For example, you can go right here, Apache HTTPD, and copy the version. Make sure that you copy the number as well, which in our case is 2.2.8. Then go and paste the name of that version. Add exploit. And here we already get some output. Security vulnerabilities. If we click on it, we can see all of the vulnerabilities that this version of Apache has. Right here we can see which score they have, and the higher the score, the stronger the vulnerability. Right here we can see the vulnerability ID, which remember from the last video I told you this format is used for vulnerabilities and you will see it a lot. And we can see all the vulnerabilities that it has. This one particularly we are really interested in. Why? Well, because it has the score 10. That means that it is a really strong vulnerability, most likely execution of code or remote access to the target. And it indeed is. It says right here, code execution. And if you click on it, you can see what this vulnerability does. You can see confidentiality impact is complete, integrity impact complete, availability impact complete. There is a total shutdown of the affected resource. The attacker can render the resource completely unavailable. So this also seems like some kind of a DOS attack. And down here we can see that this will most likely work only for Windows. As I'm noticing Windows right here a lot. Windows right here, Windows right here. Now of course you would read through this a little bit more detailed, but for now this doesn't seem as an exploit that would work on our Metasploitable, because Metasploitable is running on Linux. And this is what you would do most of your time, researching for vulnerabilities. This is how you find them, and then you search for the exploit created by someone else that you can use to exploit the target. Another thing that you can do is you can use a tool inside of the kalilinux called Searchsploit. And Searchsploit, if I type --help, simply takes the input of the version of software, and then it searches through kalilinux database through all of the exploits that kalilinux has and tries to find an exploit that will work for that specific version. Right here we have some usage examples, but we don't need to perform these complicated commands. All we can do is copy, for example, some version. Let's say we copy this version of software, Unreal IRC, and copy this. And what we can do once we copy that version is type Searchsploit and then paste the version name. And we get the result. It will tell us right here there are already some existing exploits for the Unreal IRC. We also get which version are the exploits for. One of them are backdoor command execution. The second one is local configuration stack overflow. We also get the denial of service exploit. And on the right side, we get the path to those exploits. Right here, this one is under Linux remote and it is named 16922.rb. And this RB simply stands for Ruby. This is coded in Ruby language. One of them is for Windows, one of them is for Linux. Since we're running Metasploitable, we would only be interested in the Linux exploits. So let's try to navigate here. How we can find this exploit? Well, we can copy the name of the exploit and use locate command to find where exactly this exploit is located on our machine. And it is in this path right here. So you can copy to this directory, cd, and then paste the directory name. And if I were to nano 16922.rb, this will open an exploit that we would use to attack that Unreal IRC open port. As we can see, it also tells us that this is a backdoor program. This file is also part of Metasploit framework, and Metasploit framework is one of the biggest tools that we are going to cover in the next section. We'll cover all of the basics of it, and we will also cover how we can run exploits and attack different machines using this Metasploit framework. Okay, cool. We found an exploit for this specific software using Searchsploit. So now we know we got exploit for that version of software that we have on our Metasploitable. So this is usually how you would perform most of your vulnerability analysis. You either use tools like Searchsploit or you manually try to find an exploit on Google to see whether anyone has exploited it before, and if they have, how did they do that? You would also use Nmap scripts sometimes, but I personally rarely use Nmap scripts for vulnerability analysis. And the last tool that we are going to cover for the vulnerability analysis is going to be Nessus, which we will see in the next section. That tool is huge and you will use it a lot in your vulnerability analysis. See you there.